Hello, good morning. There we go. Good morning, CLC. Again, first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for came out yesterday. We had a wonderful time. We gave over 200 families that were in need food. We had fresh produce. We had dry goods. We had water, so that was very much so appreciated and needed by many. And not only that, but we had a number of wonderful volunteers that were there. We actually ran out of food before or by 9 a.m. So I think that was one of the quickest ones we've ever done. We had cars lined up before we even arrived, and the line was continuous until there was nothing left. So just want to thank everyone who was out there. You guys worked so hard. You did such a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it. Another thing that I want to mention that is coming up is on Wednesday, this Wednesday, March 3rd at 7 p.m., right here on Facebook Live. Jesse will be having a soul session with Reverend Ronnie Lister. They will be discussing Dr. Howard Thurman and his work in the spiritual community as well as social activism. They will, I'm sure, also talk about a number of wide-ranging issues. So it should be very entertaining. It should be very educational. And hopefully you'll be able to join us. Again, that's Wednesday, March 3rd, 7 p.m., right here on Facebook Live. I'm going to keep the announcements pretty brief this morning because we have a very special guest speaker that I will be introducing in just a little bit. So because of that, what I would like to do right now is thank everyone who donates to the center, no matter how big or small. Just know that whatever you give is greatly appreciated. And not only that, but we put it to work within this center and within the community. We honor your gift. And with that, I invite you to say with me, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. I am prosperous now, and so it is. And now, I would like to invite you to just take a deep, cleansing breath. Release all that no longer serves you. Allow any stress and any tension that you may be holding, whether it's in your forehead or shoulders, in your back or hips, just let it glide down and out your body right now. When you breathe in and breathe out, let it be a cleansing, releasing breath. Put your day and week that you've had aside, anything you have coming up, just let it go just for a moment and allow yourself to be here now. Universal love enfolds me. Universal wisdom inspires me. Universal spirit enlightens me. Universal power encircles me. I am one and all is well. As we begin the inner healing process, let me invite you to relax in quiet confidence, opening yourself to the miracle-working higher power. Now, symbolize the unity of your thinking and feeling nature by touching your chest with your right hand, and let my words act as your own for your own inner healing, acceptance, and receptivity. I acknowledge that there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own. I am in the midst of it, and it is in the midst of me. Sensitive and responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. I now make this true for myself by saying aloud, I acknowledge. Acknowledging the higher power working through my life, I admit that I am personally responsible for solving my own problems, while being guided and assisted by something greater than myself. As I am ready to surrender the conflicts of my ego to the wisdom of the infinite presence, I simply speak these words: I surrender. Knowing that forgiveness is the key to unconditional love and the feeling of heaven, I now unconditionally forgive anyone and everyone who has ever injured me in any way, real or imagined. And I now forgive myself for all of my mistaken judgments and their resulting actions. From my deepest level of understanding, I now say, I forgive. Realizing that I continually experience the effects of my own thinking, I now choose to allow this higher power to recreate me deeply, filling my mind with thoughts that are only positive, constructive, loving, and beautiful. I call upon this divine inflow by stating aloud, I choose. I now center upon that one special idea that I'm willing to accept as real for me in this coming week. Visualizing the idea as already acted upon and brought to pass. In seeing my idea become a fact of my experience, I enjoy the happiness and peace of my thought fulfilled and gratefully speak these words: I accept. Knowing that I have an everlasting place in the midst of the power that sustains all creation, as well as the support of all those around me, I allow myself to relax in the peace of fulfillment and gratitude and say, I release. Now, in my mind's eye, I envision the presence of someone near and dear to me. This can be a friend, a family member, a teacher or mentor, someone who has touched my life in deep and loving ways. Someone who may not be physically present in the room with me this morning. I turn toward that image in my mind's eye and say, I am grateful for the good in your life. Now I open my eyes, turn to the world around me, and joyfully speak to anyone who's present in the room or virtually on this broadcast, and share in confidence and gratitude and say, I am grateful for the good in your life. Grateful for the good in your life. Oh, I'll let you sing, and then I'm going to get up before you get up. Okay, we'll do that.
This song is called Believe, and it's by a group called Fearless Soul. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability. You are capable of anything. You can achieve any dream. Please don't limit yourself. Don't live your life limited. It's not all sadness and misery. Life's a challenge, but you will succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance.
have the very wonderful and delightful honor and privilege of introducing our next speaker to the stage. Many of you who have been with us for a while have heard him and know just how magnanimous he is. For everyone who has not heard him before, because you may be new to us on Facebook Live, I would like to introduce you all to Reverend Arthur Johnson. This man, after a career as a Baptist minister, he discovered New Thought and then our center here at Creative Life. He has been a beloved presence ever since. He is the president and CEO of the Vision Inspired Performance Group. He is also a speaker, a teacher, consultant, and leader to many of our leaders here, including myself. He is the author of Ignite the Fire Within and Inspired to Achieve More. He has contributed to the Science of Mind magazine. And again, he is such a magnanimous speaker. I am proud to introduce Reverend Arthur Johnson.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I am grateful for that, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Today is a great day, and it's a great day because you are here. So thank you, Creative Life, for being here, for showing up on Facebook for today's experience, for today's creative experience that is destined to give you more life. I want to first of all thank Jeffrey and Melody for that very powerful song, Believe. Believe. You did a very beautiful job of singing that song. If anyone were to go out on the internet to hear that song, they would hear perhaps exactly what you sing. So bless you and thank you so much for sharing that. Creative Life. And friends, I am here for you. I am here to share with you, to talk to you on today from the thought, from the topic, you are your power to succeed. You are your power to succeed. So what I want to do before we go any further is, if you know someone and you want the best for them, I want you to tag them. I want you to text them. I want you to notify them to come and share this experience with you, because you don't want to share it all by yourself. And definitely I would want you to share it with them and to repeat it to them, but for them to be able to experience it for themselves would be the grandest thing that you could give to them on this day. Secondly, do this for me right there in the chat. Wherever you are watching from, go ahead and put that in the chat box, because we would love to know where you are logging in from, because as the pandemic has allowed us to become an international experience, so we are reaching beyond Spring, beyond Houston, and what we believe the world. So chat with us and let us know where you are logging in from today. You are your power to succeed. Now, I know when I said that, it's really a heavy thought. It's really a heavy topic to even embrace, that you are your power to succeed, because really it seems like it puts the onus on you. It puts the responsibility for succeeding on you. And believe it or not, where else would you want it to be? Where else would you want it to be? You would want it to be on anybody else but yourself. Yes, you are your power to succeed. Do this for me. I want you to repeat after me right where you are. Say, I am my power to succeed. Right, but how does that feel? I am my power to succeed. The good Dr. J, that's Dr. Jesse Jennings. On this week, we were in a conversation, and he mentioned that I am principle, the I am statement was basically the foundation, the bedrock of the law of attraction, which is so true, because when you say I am, whatever you put after I am has a way of showing up. It has a way of hitching itself to I am. So when you say I am my power to succeed, you've awakened something inside of you. You've ignited something inside of you, because truly you are your power to succeed. You know, this is Black History Month. This is the 28th of February. This is the last day of Black History Month 2021. And there is an interesting statement made by someone who was very profound in the movement of the abolishing of slavery. And his name was Frederick Douglass. And he said this. He said, I prayed for 20 years and received no answer until I prayed with my legs. You've got to think about that. I prayed for 20 years but received no answer until I prayed with my legs. So I submit to you that you are your power to succeed. And if Frederick Douglass were here, he would tell you the same thing. Yes, you are your power to succeed. So with that statement, right, with that realization, with that revelation, let me ask you this question. Has there been something that you have perhaps prayed for, you've perhaps affirmed for, you've perhaps even thought about, but it hasn't happened yet? Could it be? And I just asked a question for you to ponder, for you to contemplate. Could it be that the treatment, that the prayer, that the affirmation, that the thought has no legs? It has no feet, right? It perhaps has a body, it has a head, but it has nothing to move it with. Because Frederick would say, I prayed for 20 years and I received no answer until I prayed with my legs. So basically, he was in prison. He was in a prison state, in a slavery state for 20 years, and then he prayed, and then he began to put feet under his prayers. And in this belief and in this thought, we tend to say that you need to put some feet under your treatment. All right, well, once you treat, you then need to put feet under that which you have treated about. So once again, repeat after me. I am my power to succeed. Yes, you are, because if it's going to happen, it's going to be because of you, because God can only do for us by doing through us. I say that again. God can only do for us by doing through us. So we have to be a willing participant. We have to be a co-creator with God, with the universe, to bring about the things that we desire. Yes, you are your power to succeed. Let no one tell you any different. If it's to be, you must say that it is up to me. Yeah, you just need to look in the mirror and say, if it's to be, it is up to me. I know it's a heavy responsibility. I understand, but you would not want to have it any other way, because now you are depending on someone else or something else. But when you understand that the power is inside of you, you can really stand tall and stand firm and stand up and say, you know what? If it's to be, it's up to me. I am my power to succeed. I'm going to talk about three practices, three principles, I believe, that will help you activate your power for success. It's going to help you activate your power for success. And when I say success, success is perhaps a relative term. It's what it means to you, because success for me may be different than success for you. But guess what? We're all looking to succeed in some regard. So you really could fill in the blank. So when I say I am my power, or yes, you are your power to succeed, you could fill in the blank. I am my power to have joy. I am in my power to have peace. I am my power to have health. I am my power to have prosperity. I am my power to be, do, and have the good that I desire. Yes, you are the power to it all. Because the power is power in you. Jesse talked about it on, the stage is just burning from what has happened on this past month. I think the first Sunday, Jesse took us to San Antonio, and he said, he dropped us off in Columbus, and he said, you know what, but if you want to be in Columbus, that's okay. And that resonated with me, Dr. Jesse, because I stayed in San Antonio for 8 years, so Columbus was the halfway point. I used to come to Houston every weekend so I could gauge just about when I was almost home, because Columbus was my halfway point. But Jesse said it like this. He said, we still have more work to do. We still have another distance to go, because San Antonio is the place. San Antonio is the destination. And guess what? In San Antonio, there's SeaWorld. In San Antonio, there are attractions. In San Antonio, there are things that will just make you glory in the experience of life. So if you're listening to me, know that you have the power to get to San Antonio. If you happen to be in Columbus and you took a rest break, it's okay, but don't settle there, because that's not your place. Your place is in San Antonio. And I know You say the journey is long, it's hard. I understand it's long and it's hard for all of us. But guess what? We have somewhere to go. We have somewhere to be. And we have enough power on the inside of us to get there. And then Jesse began to talk a couple of weeks ago about love, about that love thing, right? And about we are showing up as the embodiment of love, and God expresses through us, love expresses through us in order to reach out to individuals. He gave several examples of how people were being helped when we had the catastrophe up in Dallas and how that experience worked out, but love showed up. That was a good thing. And then on last week, Dr. J said it like this. He said, we can turn to a power that does not run out. We can turn to a power that doesn't turn off. And guess what? That power is inside of you. That power is inside of you right now. So if you're listening, if you're looking and you're feeling down, if you're feeling out, if you're feeling despondent, know that there's a power that you can turn to that'll turn you back on. Yes, Arthur, say it again. There's a power that's inside of you that can turn you back on, because no situation can dim the light that's inside of you. Come here, Jesus. Jesus said, hey, let your light shine before men so that they can see the good works and give glory to your Father, to give glory to what's inside of you. Why? Because we persevere. As the song said, we must persevere. If we believe, we can see our dreams come through. Guess what? You are a perseverer. I don't care what your situation says. I don't care what the problem says. You are a perseverer. Clap for yourself and say, I am a perseverer. Yes, you are, because you are your power to succeed. And if it's to be, it is up to me. It can happen no other way. Well, the three practices, the three principles that I want to share that's going to help you activate, that's going to help you turn on, that's going to help you unleash, that's going to help you release the power that's inside of you. They're this. The first thing that we must do if you're going to take control, take ownership of your power to succeed is simply this. You must yield and yearn. You must yield and yearn to succeed. You must yield and yearn for success. You must yield and yearn for that which you desire. Because to yield is to pause. To yield is to be mindful. To yield is to be aware. So now that I've paused, now that I am mindful, now that I am aware, what is it that I need to do in my mindfulness, in the midst of my pause? So what I need to do is I need to yearn for that which I desire. Because remember, I am the power to succeed. Remember, you are your power to succeed. And if it's going to be unleashed, if it's going to be released, it would be because you are yearning for what you desire. You are directing and channeling that power into the thing that you want. And I love what Genevieve B. Rand says by way of Thomas Troward. Thomas Troward, the great father of mental science. It was like this, that if you could get at the principle, if you could get at the back of the thing that is producing the results, you can replicate it. So if I can understand what's causing the result to show up, I can let me put it like this. I can represent or represent the results that I want to have. Yes, I can, because now I am working with principle. Now I am working with law. Well, come here, a guy by the name of Joshua. Joshua is going to help us out on today, and he's going to share with us some principles and some practices that I believe will help us release our power for success. In the book of Joshua is the first chapter, perhaps the number 8th verse. It's kind of right there. And I'm just going to extract 3 principles right there that's going to help you, help me, help us unleash this power that's inside of us. It says it's the very first A clause of that particular verse. It says like this: do not let this book of the law depart out of your mouth. It says, do not let this book of the law depart out of your mouth, but meditate in it day and night. This is the instruction that Joshua had been given in order to take the children of Israel into the promised land. So if you have a promise that you're going after, if you have a promise that you're going to, there is a law for that promise, because there's a law for everything. There is a law for everything. So they had been told, do not let this book of the law depart out of your mouth, but meditate in it day and night. I love that. Mind science goes way back, right? If we really understand even the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, it's a book of psychology. It's a book of knowing the mind of God so that you can rightfully use the mind of God. Yeah, that's what it is. So do not this book of the law depart out of your mouth, but meditate in it day and night. So we can learn principle from that in order to practice so that we can produce the result that we want. So, I must yearn for what I want. How do I yearn for what I want? By communicating about it and by meditating on it. Communicating about it and meditating on it, because that's what the principle says. Do not let this book of the law depart out of your mouth, but meditate on it both day and night. Very instructional, giving us what we need to do to bring about the things that we desire to have. So the question that I must ask to you as we talk about how to unleash, how to release this power that's inside of you, what is your dominant conversation? What are you talking about? Because what you talk about, you bring about. And guess what? Speech is simply thought dressed up for human consumption. Words are simply thoughts dressed up for human consumption. Because I never know what you're thinking until you open your mouth. And once you open your mouth, I know what you're thinking then and what you've been thinking in the past. Because it just has a way of coming up and coming out. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So, what's your dominant conversation like? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it up? Is it down? You have to evaluate what your dominant conversation is, because your conversation dictates your creation. Woo! Your conversation dictates your creation. The Great Spirit said it like this. The great God said it like this. Let there be. And what he said showed up. So if you want to understand what's showing up, look at your communication. You may say, well, Arthur, I'm not saying that. But maybe you are thinking it. It's still words, right, that are being thought. And they're operating at a low level, at a subconscious level, but it's affecting everything on the conscious level. The principle says, do not let the book of the law depart out of your mouth. So you must understand the law for the thing that you desire, and you must speak that. And then he says, hey, I need you to meditate on it day and night. I need you to meditate it day and night. And we talk about yearning. When you yearn for something, there is a longing for it. When you yearn for something, there is a strong desire for it. When you yearn for something, there's a passionate plea and push for what you're yearning for. That's how you can tell if you are actually yearning. The principle says you need to meditate on it day and night. What's the first thing on your mind when you wake up in the morning? Because that's going to tell you the direction of the power that's within you is going to flow. So if you wake up with crooked thoughts, you cannot help but have a crooked experience, right? Because that's your thought process. The second question, Jeffrey, okay, what are you thinking about when you go to sleep at night? He says you need to meditate on it day and night. It starts with your communication. And then it starts with your thought of what you're meditating on both day and night. That is what will unleash. That is what will release the power that's inside of you. What are you yearning for? And notice I say yearning, 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 not yawning. But what are you yearning for? And when you yawn, you tend to open your mouth wide. When you yawn, you tend to stretch. Well, when you yearn, you open up your mind to the possibility. When you yearn, you stretch your belief to the reality. And y'all know yawning is somewhat contagious. I did research on it, and they didn't know enough science So I can't come here and tell you because I like science. So I like to give you facts. They don't know why. They don't know what's going on when it happens. But when you yawn, the person that's next to you or in close proximity also begins to yawn, right? So this is what I want to leave with us. Make sure that you are around somebody who's yearning. Because just how you can catch a yawn, you can catch a yearn. You need to be around people who are being something, doing something, having something, have a desire for something. Make sure that you evaluate who you are around because they will determine and dictate where it is you go. Yeah. Solomon said it like this. The wise man grows wise because he's walking with wise people. But a companion of fools is destroyed. So we become a product of our environment. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Come on, put that in the chat box. Come on, talk back to us. Put that in the chat box. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with good people? Are you surrounding yourself with great people? Okay, let me give you a little litmus test before we go forward. Great people talk about ideas. I'm giving you a litmus test to check out your company you're keeping. Great people talk about ideas. Average people talk about events. And small people talk about other people. That's it. Great people talk about ideas. Average people talk about events. And small people, small-minded people talk about other people. So all you got to do is just check out your conversation over the last 7 days. Maybe the last 24 hours. Just check it out, see what it has been like. Right? Because everything is affecting everything else. Because the mind is very amenable to suggestion. Dr. Emil Couey he came over here and tried to heal America. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better because we can be affected by the words that are coming out of our mouths. So, hey, this is what you must do. You must yearn for the thing that you want. You must yearn for success. And how do you yearn for success? By communicating, right? And by meditating. By communicating and by meditating. By communicating about what it is you want and meditating on what it is you want, right? Get rid of the talk that has nothing to do with what you want. Only talk about what you want. Only entertain what you want. Don't entertain anything else because it's not worth very much. Yeah. If it's not helping you, it's hindering you. If it's not helping you, it's hurting you. If it's not helping you, it's hampering you. There are no in-betweens. It is or it isn't. And your life is too valuable to play around with it. So that's it. Yearn for it. You got to stretch. You got to go. You got to press for it. This is the second thing that you must do. If you're going to take control, take ownership of the power that's inside of you, the power that's been invested in you, the second thing that you must do is you must observe. You must observe the law and obey the law. You must observe the law and obey the law. Because in that same verse, the second part, he not only says, hey, do not let this book of the law depart out of your mouth. He says, but be careful to observe and to do all that is written in it. Be careful to observe and to do all that is written in it. So there's a reason why we're communicating what we want. There's a reason why we are meditating on what we want day and night. Why? So that we can take the actions that line up with what it is that we want. So he says, hey, I need you to observe the law of what you want, and I need you to obey the law of what you want. To observe what you want and to obey the law of what it is you want. Because it just doesn't happen. There are some natural laws. There are some human laws. There are some man-made laws. Hey, do you consider yourself a law-abiding citizen? Good question. Do you consider yourself a law-abiding citizen? Because if you obey the law, you have the benefit of the law. If you disobey the law, you experience the consequences of the law. And there's something called the law of mind action, right? The way the mind works. Sow in and reap in. The law of cause and effect. What you think will show up. What you give your consistent thought energy to is being created in your experience. It's like upcoming attractions or distractions, for that matter. So you must obey the law that pertains to the thing that you want. I hear you asking, Arthur, give me an example. Give me an example. I thought you would never ask. Okay, there's a law, and Jeffrey, you're a financial planner. You'll agree. There's a law of, I guess, what I would call financial success. And once again, that's a relative term. It's not a monetary term. It's just a relative term. There's a law of financial success. Guess what? I thought you would never ask. You know what it is? Spend less than you make. Don't spend the whole dollar. Don't spend the whole dollar. You see what I mean? But now if you break that law, you will experience the consequences of that law. But if you obey that law, you'll always have something left over. I call it the 70-10-10-10. 70-10-10-10. Now, Jeff, I know you're a financial planner. This may not be your principle, but this is what Arthur believes, right? 10% to charity, 10% for long term, and 10% for short term, and you live on the other 70%. And if you would obey that, you'll never be broke another day in your life. That's $1,000 right there. That's a $1,000 seminar right there. Yeah, 10% for charity, 10% for short term, your emergency fund, and then 10% for long term, perhaps retirement, something that's going to happen 3 to 5 years down the road, and live on 70%. And you say, well, Arthur, I can't live on 70%. Well, that just means you have some decisions you need to make. Yeah, you just got to do an analysis. You just got to do, like I call it, a live autopsy. Right? Don't wait till you're dead to check things out. Check it out while you're alive so that you can live a better life. You need to check out your spending because guess what? You are in control. You have the power of mind, the power of God. You have dominion in you. Yeah, get a piece of paper and a pencil and write it down. It's real simple. You don't need Excel. You don't need a fancy program. Sheet of paper, a line down the middle, a line across, 1st and 15, 16 and 31st, right? What's coming in, what's going out, what's coming in, what's going out. Bam, you got a spending plan. I didn't even say budget because I know y'all don't like that. A spending plan, and you're good to go. See, you are your power to succeed. I know you thought you didn't have the power. And there's a law of weight loss or weight management or weight maintenance. Just eat less calories than your body burn to weigh a certain weight. That's it. It gets back to law. It's simple math. So if I'm weighing a certain amount, that means I'm on average consuming a certain amount of calories. If I want to lose weight, just reduce the calories. If I'm in debt, just reduce my spending. It's the same thing. We have the mind to do great and wonderful things. You are your power to succeed. But you must obey the laws of success. Something real quick, and we're going to keep going. Eddie Murphy. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Eddie Murphy, but Eddie Murphy is an actor, and he is coming out with a new movie, Coming to America 2. Yeah, Coming to America 2. And I love Eddie because I understood what Eddie was thinking when this happened. Now, Eddie is the star. He's Prince Hakeem. He has grown, and he now has a child. Well, in real terms, his daughter, right, is going to be in the movie. And she's going to play his daughter. They were on Good Morning America this past Thursday, and guess what, you all? Eddie made his daughter audition for the part. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He made his daughter audition because I think Eddie understands obeying the laws of success. Because if it had been given to her, if she had not earned it, if she had not worked for it, she would not have developed that which was within her to be able to stand when Eddie was no longer around. So Eddie said it like this. He said, I was not going to muscle my daughter into the movie. She had to audition for Craig somebody who is the director. Why? He says, because we wanted to make sure that she was able to deliver. I love that. To make sure that she was able to deliver. So there is a law governing what it is you desire. Whether it's good health, whether it's good wealth, whether it's a new career experience, whether it's more joy, more peace. Once again, you want more peace? Hey, just keep your mouth closed. You don't have to say everything that comes out of your, every thought you have. Yeah, you have people say, I'm going to tell you a piece of my mind. That's why you don't have any peace. You're giving it all away. I mean, it's simple, y'all. It is simple, right? You are your power to succeed. Yes, you are. This is the last point that we're going to run on. I hope you're hitting up the chat box and letting us know that you are owning your power to succeed. And you're taking these principles and these practices and you're going to apply them to your life experience, because creative life exists to help you have a creative life. Ooh, you'll catch that one probably on dinner break. Yeah, to help you have a creative life, because you don't have to take life as it is. Because Romans 12:2 says it like this: do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So you don't have to conform to the way things exist now, because you can use the power of your mind to create a dynamic experience. Yes, you can, because you are your power for success. The last thing that you must do, so not only must you yearn for the thing that you want, you must yearn for the success that you want. You must obey the laws that govern what it is you want. You must obey the laws that govern the success that you desire. Because know that there is a law for everything. And when I say law, it's nothing deep, it's nothing mystical. Just understand what causes it to work. I think Joseph Murphy said it like this. Joseph Murphy, the great writer of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, he says, law simply means the way a thing works. That's it. Law simply means the way a thing works. That's it. So find out what it is you want, understand the laws that are governing it, the laws that are backing it, the laws that makes it come into being, and follow those laws. And chances are you will get the thing that you desire. Last practice. So you must yearn for what you want. You must obey the laws that govern what you want. The last thing that you must do is you must unpack your success one step at a time. You must unpack your success one step at a time. You must unleash it one step at a time. I think the great Chinese proverb says it like this, that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Because if you take the first step, you'll be more inclined to take the next step. And if you're leaving Houston and you're on I-10, it's not a matter of if you'll get to San Antonio. It's only a matter of when you'll get to San Antonio. And guess what? You can jump and shout all the way there, because you know you're on the path to your chosen place. You're on the path to your promised land. You're on the path to your joy, to your peace, to your health, to your wealth, to your success, to whatever it is that you desire. You are on the path. I encourage you, I implore you to take a step today. Take a step in faith today. Martin Luther King said, hey, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And the song says, believe. If you can believe, all things are possible. If you can believe. So unleash your success one step at a time. Joshua says it like this, the last part of that particular verse. I'll just run back from the top. Do not let this book of the law depart out of your mouth, but meditate on it day and night. Observe to do according to all that is written therein. That C clause says this, for then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. That's what it says. It says you, Y-O-U. No one else but you. If you do this, if you talk about it right, if you think about it night and day, if you obey the laws, then you will make your way prosperous. You will make your way prosperous. Then you will have good success. You will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. You. So yes, your power to succeed is you. You are your power for success. Let me share something with you. I have a box of cornbread mix. We're not promoting Jiffy. If somebody's on watching Jiffy and you get some additional sales, please send proceeds to Creative Life Spiritual Center, Spring, Texas, led by the founder and the ultimate one, Dr. Jesse Jennings. Yeah, absolutely. So we have some Jiffy cornbread mix. Now, granted, it's called Jiffy, right? So Jiffy means in a moment's notice. Jiffy means quicker than at once, right? Jiffy means sooner than right now. Jiffy means on the spot. That's the name of it. But there's still a process that must be put in place for the cornbread to become the cornbread. And it's not going to happen, right, overnight. It's not going to happen in a jiffy, right? But you can experience it in a jiffy because you know what's in the box. And you know if you follow the instruction, if you obey the laws, if you follow the rules of cooking cornbread, you will have a great pan of cornbread. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And guess what? The instructions are on the box. It tells you what you need to add, what the temperature of the oven needs to be, how long to leave it in. All you have to do is follow the instructions. All you have to do is talk right, think right, follow that which is right, and then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. I end with this last story, and it's very powerful. So I want you to hear. So if you went to get some more breakfast or some popcorn, gather yourself back around because I don't want you to miss this because it is very powerful. Because when we talk about you or your power to succeed, I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that firmly with everything in my being. Why? Because I know that God operates in you as well as God operates in me. And there is no God up there. There is God everywhere. You can be no place that God is not, right? So you can claim and call on what you need right where you are. So, hey, here it is, master teacher. And Jeffrey, if you want to, you could kind of, start playing. The master teacher, he's on his way. And he gets to this place called Bethesda, right? And he passes by, and at this pool called Shalom, right? And it has several different stages, several different porches, and real life for me. And several different porches, and there was a man there. So Jesus just kind of checking everything out. Like, man, Jesus came to creative life, right? He walks in the door. He's just kind of checking things out. Hey, man, this guy just Jesus got it going on. Got some great work going on. So he's just kind of looking at Melody. He's looking at Jeffrey. He's just kind of checking everything out. And then he sees this man sitting right there on the front row. And 35 years? 35 years. Unfortunately, this man had been there 38 years. He had been laying on this mat for 38 years. And Jesus consulting with those around, and he found out what was going on, and he became inquisitive. Because Jesus was all for the people. He wasn't trying to be deified. He wanted people to realize the power inside of them. So he approaches the man, and he says, sir, do you want to get well? That's what he asked him. Because I guess in Jesus' mind, he's like, you've been dealing with this for 38 years. I'm tired for you. Are you not tired? Do you want to get well? Guess what the man said? He said, well, every time I try to get in the water, because custom was when the angel stirred the water, whoever got in first would get healed. That's why my first point, I said you need to check who you're around because they determine where you're going. So someone would always get in before him. That was not what Jesus asked him. So that lets us know that man had been perhaps making excuses all along. Because when Jesus says, do you want to get healed? The first thing that should have come out of his mouth was, yes, I want to get healed. Do you know how long I've been here? Do you know how long I've been dependent? Do you know how long I have been absent of my own power? Yes, I want to get healed. So we know what he had been thinking in the past because that was the first thing that came out. Remember, words are simply clothes dressed up for human consumption. So this is what he had been thinking. So the law of mind action was working, Dr. J. Yeah. I guess Jesus said, you know what? Brother, man, I'm going to help you out. Because you really in a deepened state. I'm not going to even deal with what's going on with you mentally. I'm just going to make you whole. Get up! Pick up your mat. And guess what he did? He got up and he picked up his mat. The very thing that he had been lying on for 38 years. He picked it up, got up, and went up. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, did he have that power all along. And the reason that I can place that parenthetical statement right there, because he did not even know that it was Jesus. He went on his way, and the good church folk like, well, what are you doing? It's Sunday. You're not supposed to be carrying that. It's the Sabbath. You're not supposed to be carrying that. And he said, well, this man told me to get up. He didn't even know who it was. But Jesus bypassed his conscious mind and dropped a thought in his subconscious mind that his body had to act on. So hopefully, I've been able to drop a thought to you that will let you know that if you're down, you can get up. If you're hurting, you can be made well. If you're lonely, you can be comforted. If you're in need, you can be supplied, because there's a power that's greater than you are that you can turn to, that you can tap into, that can meet your every need. I've given you. Yearn for what it is you want. Why? Obey the law that governs what you want. Oh, unpack, unleash your success one step at a time. You. Y-O-U. It's all up to you. If you will, put your hand on your heart and say, if it's to be, it is up to me. Because I am one with the universe. Dear God, thank you for your power. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for each and every person that has heard these words on today. It is my knowing that these words have fallen on fertile ground, open minds and hearts ready to receive guidance and instruction from you. We thank you for the power of truth. We thank you for the power of you. We thank you for investing that power within us. We are thankful that we can work in concert with you, because truth says like this, that with you all things are possible. And that gives us something to shout about. Because if we can plug into you, if we can partner with you, we know that we can have the promises, the desires of our heart. We love you. We're grateful for you. We bless you and we lift you as you continue to bless us and lift us. And as we know, a blessing is not a one-time thing. A blessing is a level of awareness that you are all and that you're always blessing us. We love you and we bless you. It's in your name we pray. We say amen, and so it is. Blessings to you. Thank you.
I just got told that there's not a song between me and that. Woo! Okay, no, I'm good. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm good. Because I heard a whole lot. I took notes as fast as I could, and I didn't get it all. But I heard one thing that I'm going to walk away with. And I'm going to share the one thing that I'm going to walk away with. And I encourage you, when you watch this, to share the one thing you're going to walk away with. Or the dozen things, however many. But what I heard was your life is too valuable to play around with this. What I heard was your life was too valuable to play around with this. You have the power within you to succeed. And we all know where that power comes from. So your life is too valuable to play around with this power. Consciously use this power. This is the drum beat that Ernest Holmes says. Consciously use this power. So I'm going to consciously use this power right now, right here, for you. I'm going to know. I'm always going to know. There is one life, one power, one presence, one love. That love flows through me, in me, as me. And I know that that love flows through you. As Reverend Arthur said, we are the embodiment of that love.
Yes.
We are literally the hands and feet, the eyes and the ears and the loving heart of God. And so whatever it is, whatever path we are on, we know, I know, that we have the power because it is flowing through us. That power is coming from an inexhaustible place. And it is coming from a place that never says no. It is coming from a place that always says yes. So I'm going to tell you, be careful what you ask for. But more importantly, be conscious of what you ask for. Because I know that love. And I hold that love for you. And I know that you hold that love. And I know this with all of the gratitude of my being. I know this with all of the gratitude there is. And I love this. Just like I love you. And so it is.
Say with me now, something wonderful is happening through me.
Something wonderful is happening through me.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in everything I am.
I feel it in everything I am.
I choose it.
I choose it.
I trust it.
I trust it.
I use it.
I use it.
And I love it.
And I love it.
So it is.
And so it is.